Hello and welcome to this training video brought to you by the COVID-19 Fiscal Team. This quick video is to help you understand the invoicing process, utilizing an example of a standard invoice. On the COVID-19 Fiscal Headquarters website, there is a link to an example invoice. It has all of the information that you need to fill it out to make it easy. We're going to take a few moments and review the invoicing process, the template, as well as some tips and tricks to help make invoicing as smooth as possible. When an award is announced, an email is sent to all of the directors with details. It is important that these details make it to the appropriate support staff that will be conducting the invoicing for their agency. Two of the most important pieces of information within this email is the individual contract number, CT, or purchase order number, PO. These unique numbers help CDPHE staff match up the agency with the appropriate coding information in our systems. The process of invoicing is as follows. Billing occurs at different intervals depending on an agency's internal rules. Some may bill monthly while others bill quarterly. CDPHE works with your agency to make whatever preferred timeline work. Depending on your billing cycle, fill out the invoice template with all of the relevant information for the period of time that you're needing to be reimbursed. Then send this information over to your internal fiscal team to allow them to complete whatever review they need to. After it's been okayed by your agency, email it to your respective contract monitor. CDPHE staff will then review your invoice for completeness. This is one of those tips that I promised. To expedite your invoice processing, make sure when using the invoice template that it's been filled out completely. Passing it back and forth for more information adds time to the process of reimbursement. Once CDPHE staff have reviewed and processed the invoice, payment is set up. If your agency has an electronic funds transfer or EFT account set up, this could be in as little as 3 business days. If your agency doesn't have this set up, it will take about a week for a check to be delivered to your agency in the mail. EFT is one of those tips and tricks that I mentioned. If your agency allows it, this process can cut down the time for receiving payment by around half. All you need to do is fill out a form, which is also on the COVID-19 fiscal website, and work with our accounting department to get some items, such as IRS and bank account information in our system. Then we can send your funds electronically. Now let's review the invoice example. We're going to start on the first tab, labeled Data Entry here. The invoice number is the number that comes to your agency and needs to be filled out on every invoice. FEIN is that vendor number that I mentioned earlier. This is how our staff know which department or office within your agency to invoice. Without this number, the invoice cannot be processed. Purchase order or encumbrance number is the unique number that lets our staff know which pot of money to pay you out from. As with the vendor number, we can't process your payment without this. Payment option tells us how you would like to receive your funds, electronically or in the mail. As I said earlier, electronically is the fastest way to receive your funds. Organization name is another identifier for our staff to know who the funds are going to. Invoice period, this is the time your expenditures occurred and are being invoiced for. Like I said earlier, some agencies do this monthly or quarterly. Check with your fiscal department to verify which yours does. Final invoice. This helps us know if this is your final invoice you will ever submit under that specific PO or contract that you're invoicing on. The next section is pretty simple. Within the CDPHE program section, simply fill out your contact for the program you're invoicing for, such as FEP, CRI, HCC, etc. Then fill out your contact information. Another tip here is to make sure that you include the address that matches the BC number for your agency. This is especially important if you don't have EFT. The expenditures table is where you list out what you're requesting to be reimbursed for. We'll notice that it's broken up into sections, such as personal services, supplies and operating, travel, contractual, and sometimes indirect. Please use these sections to help break up the information. The formulas within the template will help roll all of that into a bottom total. On the second tab, labeled Print for Submission, all of the information that you entered copies over. The only thing you need to do on this page is enter your signature, title, and date. This step is necessary for the invoice to be accepted. Once you have all of this information, save and send it over to your fiscal staff for their processes, and then over to the CDPHE respective contract monitor. And that's it. Thank you for watching this training video and all of your hard work.